guys, it's Lindsay. Welcome back to The Wandering Reader. Today I'm going to be talking to you about some upcoming summer releases. So it's June the 29th today, and it is the hottest day of the of the year here in the UK. So I think it's sort of around 26, 27 out there, which I'm sure to some people would not be that hot, but we're really feeling it today. So yeah, this is the perfect day to film this video and talk to you about some upcoming releases for July, August and September that I am really excited about, and you know, might be some ones that you put on your list, you know, to buy and take away on holiday or something along those kinds of lines. So let's jump in. First up is Knife by Jo Nesbo. This is out on the 11th of July and I've actually pre-ordered this one. This is the next book in the Harry Hole series. So if you're not aware, Jo Nesbo writes this Harry Hole series, and it is a detective series set in Sweden, I believe. And it follows Harry Hole, who is the detective, and he, you know, goes about different cases in each of the different novels, but there's also an overarching storyline to do with him and his life as you go through the books. I'm a little bit behind on the series. I think I've got 3 or maybe 4 to catch up on before I read this one, but I've really enjoyed this series so far and I can't wait for this one to come out. Next up is The Wedding Party by Jasmine Guillory, which is out on the 16th of July. I've actually pre-ordered this on my Kindle as well. I haven't read anything by Jasmine Guillory so far, but I bought her first book, which I think is called The Wedding Date, and I had that on my Kindle, and I think that's on my TBR for the Summer Romance Book Bingo that's going on at the moment, so I'm looking forward to getting around to reading that. And I believe that each of these books that she's written are connected in some kind of way, but I don't know how they're connected. So this particular book, The Wedding Party, follows 2 characters who have a best friend in common, and that best friend is getting married, so they are part of the wedding party. But these 2 people hate each other, and I think they see each other on this one particular day, and one thing leads to another, and they sleep together, and it's about the kind of the fallout of them sleeping together and then being involved in the wedding party and trying to avoid each other and things like that. People have had nothing but good things to say about Jasmine Guillory's writing, so I'm really excited to give this one a go. And lastly, in July, I've got Meet Me in Monaco by Hazel, Gaynor and Heather Webb. This is out on the 23rd of July in the UK. And this one really stood out to me because the subtitle is a novel of Grace Kelly's wedding. Yeah, a novel of Grace Kelly's royal wedding. So basically it's a historical fiction novel and it's set in Monaco, and it describes and talks about the lead up and the actual wedding of Grace Kelly. And I don't know about you, but that whole kind of era really appeals to me. I don't really know a lot about Grace Kelly, but her life just, yeah, I don't know, it seems really interesting to me, and I really liked the cover on this one and the description of it, and so I thought I would add it to this list. Next up for August, I have got The Right Swipe by Alisha Ray. This is out on the 6th of August. And I've not read anything by Alisha Ray before, but I've heard really good things about her romance writing. This, I believe, is about 2 characters who have both created separate dating apps, and they are sort of competing against each other in this kind of dating app market. And it's sort of like, it reminds me of like a hate to love relationship kind of scenario. It sounds really good, like I said. People said really good things about Alisha Ray's writing before, that she writes really steamy romance and things like that. So I'm looking forward to this one. Okay, and then out on the 13th of August is the Wallflower Wage by Tessa. This is the 3rd book in the Girl Meets Duke series. I think the first book was The Duchess Deal and the second book was The Governess Game. I have both of those on my Kindle, but I've yet to read them yet. But I love Tessa Dare's writing, so when I saw that this was coming out, I immediately jumped on the idea of, you know, adding it to this list. And this is, I believe, about kind of, it's like an opposites attract type story. So it's about a duke who's like really arrogant and aggressive, and what do they call him? The Duke of Ruin, great nickname. And then it's about this lady, what's her name? Lady Penelope Campion, love that name. And she's like a wallflower. She is really caring. She takes in lots of strays, like that kind of idea, and it's about the two of them in a relationship. I absolutely love Tessa Dare's writing, and in fact I'm about to start one of her novels today, which I think is called Say Yes to the Marquess. Yeah, she's a great romance writer and I can't wait for this to come out. Then moving into September, I firstly got The World of Throne of Glass by Sarah J Maas, which is out on the 3rd. And this is a companion novel to the Throne of Glass series, so I believe it has more insights into the world, it's got some maps in there, it's got some character analysis, that sort of thing. Steph and I have been really invested in the Throne of Glass series, although we've not liked it so much as it's gone on, but a bit like kind of collecting anything Harry Potter, this really appeals to me to have on my shelf, so I thought I would mention it here. Next up, coming out on the 5th of September, I have the Elevator Pitch by Linwood Barclay. I've been a big fan of Linwood Barclay's books in the past, and he started to write some different kind of thrillers now. So this one, I believe, is about, is set in Manhattan, and it's about a series of happenings where people get into a lift. The lift goes to the top of the building and then all of a sudden it plummets to the bottom and they're all killed. And the first time this happens, people think it's just a random accident, but then it happens again later on in the city, and it's about trying to find out who is behind this kind of thing, what's terrorising the city, that kind of idea. It sounds really relevant in terms of its themes, yeah, and this is out on the 5th. I'm pretty sure you will all know about this next one, which is The Testaments by Margaret Atwood. This is out on the 10th of September, and this is a sequel to The Handmaid's Tale. That's all I really know about it, and all I really want to know about it, really. I'm guessing she may have been pushed or inclined to write this book off of the fact that they've made, I think now, 3 series of The Handmaid's Tale on Netflix. And so that may be why she's been inclined to write it. I'm not really sure. I'm always a bit like Harper Lee when they released the book that she wrote before, although she did write that before, didn't she? I was still a little bit apprehensive about that one, and I still am about this one as well. But Margaret Atwood is a great writer, so I'm sure it will be good. And the last book that I want to talk to you about today is A Wedding in December by Sarah Morgan. This is coming out on the 24th of September in hardcover, which a lot of her books don't come out in hardcover, so I found that a little bit strange. And in fact, the copy that I have here, the proof copy, it says that the paperback edition is coming out on the 31st of October. But maybe her books are doing a lot better now, and therefore they've invested in releasing the hardback edition. But nonetheless, it's coming out, you know, either in September or in October, and I've talked about this a couple of times on my channel over the last couple of weeks, but this is about an older couple who have been married for years and years and years. Their daughter is getting married, and you know, they've got to go to this wedding. However, their own marriage is not doing particularly well, and they've decided actually to split up, but they don't want to split up before their daughter's wedding because they want things to be, you know, happy and as they should be, like that kind of idea. They don't want to upset their daughter, so they decide to stay together and pretend like everything's okay, and they go to the wedding and it's about what happens there. So yeah, love Sarah Morgan, and I can't wait to read this, and I can read this early because I got the proof. So there you go guys, they are all of the books that I wanted to talk to you about today, all of the new releases that I'm really excited about coming out over the next few months in summer. I'd love to have a chat with you in the comments below. Which ones are you excited for? Are there any ones that I didn't put on this list that you are really excited for as well? Obviously this list could be really massive, but I've had to make sure that I've narrowed it down. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.